Hello English 10, this is Miss Long, and with this unit we are leaving the world of our novels and our books and our oral presentations, and we are moving into the world of writing. Unit 2 is about the contemporary essay, and I want to take a few minutes to share with you kind of why I'm excited about this particular unit, why I enjoy this unit. I should preface my remarks by saying that one of the reasons I enjoy working with teenagers is that you are at a point where you are all forming your values and forming your viewpoints and thinking about the world. Younger children can't yet think about the world in the complexity that you can, and older people tend to have lost the passion for dealing with the world. So I really enjoy you, your age, and I enjoy this assignment. So I hope that you do too. Let me walk you through what a contemporary essay is. The essay, quote from Aldous Huxley, Brave New World author, the essay is a literary device for saying almost everything about almost anything. And that's a pretty flexible mold. Let's take a look at the essay in history. The essay began with, well, a few British writers, but primarily the Frenchman Michel Montaigne, who wrote a book of essays based on the French essayer, I'm going to butcher that French, meaning to try or to attempt. And that's exactly what an essay is. It's an attempt to get your thoughts out, certainly not always knowing what you're going to say, and it really underscores the point that we discover our ideas, we discover our beliefs, oftentimes through writing. And as a side note, it's my hope that as you journal, you make some discoveries along the way about what it is that you believe. So if you think about it, we write to communicate. We write for no other reason but to communicate those ideas. And those ideas matter. Great writing can change the world, and great writing can change your world as you figure out what you believe. When we look back at history, writing definitely has the power to change the world. Some of you recently read Frankenstein, and Mary Shelley's mother wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Women that transformed the thinking about women during the Enlightenment. Common Sense by Thomas Paine was the pamphlet that propelled the colonies into the Revolutionary War. And later, after we had become a country, it was Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin that Abraham Lincoln referred to as that little lady in that little book that started this whole great war. So it definitely can make a difference to have great writing. Don't believe me yet? Think about these examples. Writing can change the world, as in Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, written in the early 20th century about the meat packing industry. And it was this book that revealed what conditions were like in factories, and it was this book that caused governmental change that regulates food and drugs and food and beverages so that we have safe things to drink and consume today. Another example, Henry David Thoreau, writing in the 1800s, wrote The Duty of Civil Disobedience that influenced Gandhi, which then led to the independence of India, and Gandhi influenced Martin Luther King Jr. with the whole civil rights movement. So writing that is powerful can change the world, and I want that to be one of your takeaways from this unit. Writing of all genres can change the world, and indeed writing can change your world. And as you get into this first session, I want you to be thinking about what things you'd like to change in the world and what things matter to you. The contemporary essay in particular is writing about something that matters to a large number of people in our population, so 20% of the population or more. It's not just about your personal concerns, it's about something a little bit more general than that. It relates to a social issue or a concern or a social phenomenon. And it's a topic it's a piece of writing that contains research, but it also shares your opinion. Again, this is what I like about this unit. You get to share your opinion. So some topics for that contemporary essay, hundreds of them. Here are a few to start with. Climate change, cyberbullying, privacy, droughts, LGBT awareness, abortion, deforestation, standardized testing, organic food, GMOs, college costs are rising all the time, sex trafficking, child brides, economic inequality, homelessness, the privatization of spaceflight, radical religion, animal abuse, AIDS, gun control, police brutality, body image, youth unemployment, obesity, and teen pregnancy. Lots of different types of issues. And each of us tend to have issues that we consider pet issues or issues that we really invest in. So think about this and give it a lot of thought on something that you want to do and really enjoy finding out about and becoming a subject matter expert on it. This contemporary essay is going to, again, communicate your opinion. You'll use facts and examples and support, so it's going to involve some research, and it's going to contain a structure that aids communication. So one of our goals in this unit is to look at patterns of organization, chronological order or logical division of ideas, cause-effect, comparison, and contrast. And so you can structure an essay like this in a variety of ways. We'll be looking at those patterns. We'll also be writing powerfully by thinking about our audience. When you know who you're writing for, whether it's someone who is already in favor of your topic, or someone who is against your position, or someone who is just uninformed and wants to know more. When you think about that audience, that really is going to influence which organizational pattern is best suited to your purpose. Your sentence variety will reflect the kind of audience you want to reach, so we'll be looking at simple and compound and complex sentences and how you punctuate those. We'll get into commas and semicolons and colons. And the appropriate tone or diction or style that you want to use, and that relates to the word choice. So again, it all goes back to this audience piece. To write powerfully, we need to share our writing, and our final assignment, as you're going to be writing an essay, but your final assignment will involve sharing it through a class blog. That way you can influence, at the very minimum, your classmates in this course. So let's get started. And as you get started, I want you to think about these two questions. What matters to you, and how do you want to change the world? So let's go ahead and take a look at what the first session involves. It's a fairly full session, but with some shorter assignments before we dig into the actual essay writing. So the first assignment, I would like for you to do a reflection survey for me. And this is kind of a little bit of housekeeping. I just want to get some feedback from you on how things are going for you, because there's still time to change it. It doesn't do any good for me to know this at the end of the semester. Really helps for me to get some feedback now. So there's a survey embedded in here, and I want it to be anonymous. I don't want you to use your name because I think that allows you to feel a little bit more comfortable and being more honest. But I still want to give you points for doing it. So here's what you need to do. You're going to take this survey, and after you click the submit button at the end, you will see a thank you for taking the survey and a code word. And I want you to insert that code word into your submission up here in Schoology. I want you to tell me what the code word is. Then I can give you credit for it because I know that you wouldn't get to that code word unless you did the survey. But that still allows you to be anonymous. I hope that makes some sense. But I really believe that this is important during this time in the semester for me to get feedback now. So then we'll move into our work for the contemporary essay. And I want you to think about things for your journal that you want to be the change for. There's this kind of meme quote from Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. What kinds of changes do you want in your life? Can't change anybody else. I know that because I have a 12-year-old. But what do you want to change, and what are you willing to change in you? And so there's a couple of fun videos for you to think about as you write about what you want to change in your own person, your relationships, your community, and the world at large. Then you're going to get a chance to discuss with your peers what matters to teenagers today. They may not be the same things that would matter to somebody in my generation or someone of your parents' generation. It's a class brainstorming session, and I want you to think of 2 topics that concern you. Share those concerns, those issues. Again, this should relate to 20% of your population. And then you're going to respond to at least 2 other students. So do remember the discussion rubric, post early in the week, and then respond to peers by the end of the week. Also with this session, I want to go back and just revisit titles and capitalization. Some of you aced the last quiz that was in the first unit, in session 4 of the first unit, but some of you need to go back and review that. Throughout the year, you're going to be referring to titles of different works you've read, whether they're books or websites or short stories. And so it's important that you really do have a handle on those conventions. So you can review this quiz. You can then review some different games and practice exercises. And then on Thursday, October 1st, I will make available to you a quiz that you can take to redo your last quiz. And I'll take the higher of the two scores. So, sorry about that. So if you did better on the previous quiz, I will count that score to both of these assignments. And if you do better on this assignment than this quiz, I will apply it to your previous score as well. So you really have nothing to lose. Go ahead and give this your best so that you can really master these conventions. Many times they're taught in elementary school, but for whatever reason they don't always stick. And so it's important that you have them as we do a variety of types of writing this year. Okay, moving right along, you're going to continue by looking at sample contemporary essays. I would like for you to read 2 of these 3. They look at different organizational patterns. And choose one of these essays to look at the different types of styles and topics you can choose. And as you do that, I'm going to ask you to complete a writer's, to complete this document here, where you're going to look at aspects of that writing. That was, the types of evidence they used, the types of structure, how they proved their point, what was most effective, that kind of thing. Then at the very end of our session, you're going to pick your topic. And again, something that matters to a lot of people, something that's researchable, something you care about. That's really important to me, because what's the point of doing this if it's not something that develops you as a person and not just as a student? So something you care about, something you can write about for 2 to 3 pages. Though, and I'll also put this out there, in Unit 3 you're going to be doing a persuasive appeal, and in Unit 4 you're going to be debating a controversial issue. And if you want to choose one topic for the semester and become an expert in it, I would support you doing that. Sometimes the topic isn't something you like, because then you'll welcome the chance to do something different in a future unit. But at least have that in mind as an option so that you might be able to kill a few more birds with that one stone. And then as you begin planning for your topic, you're going to complete this pre-writing sheet and get some basic sources. It doesn't have to be websites, but sources on your topic. Think about your audience and how your audience feels. Are you trying to convince people of something? Are you trying to let people who agree with you just feel good about it? What's the purpose of it? Are you trying to shock people? Are you trying to motivate people to action? So just thinking about that topic. And then next week in our second session, you'll go ahead and start drafting that essay. Hopefully that gives you a pretty good overview of where we're going this week. Remember, too, this is the last week you can be submitting late work. A little bit of a busy work then. Late work for that previous unit, because I'm going to close Unit 1 when we're all done with this week. Then you can focus just exclusively on this contemporary essay. I hope you have a good week, and I look forward to hearing from you and hearing your thoughts on the contemporary essay. Have a great week.